Good morning, students, and welcome back to our social science class. So today we'll start with the continuation of the yesterday's chapter of weather and climate. Yesterday we have studied about what is weather and what is climate. So today we will continue with this chapter and we will study about what are the various factors which affects the climate of a place, and we will see what are the factors. Now please pay attention. Okay, so first we have discussed about the three important topics that are affecting the climate of the place. The first is distance from the equator. We have studied about distance from the equator. The second point, I'll revise once again when I finish with this for today. Then second point was altitude or height. The third important was the distance from the sea, and distance from the sea is the third point. Now today we'll start with the fourth point. The fourth point is the direction of the wind. Okay, so the fourth point is the direction of the wind. The winds affects the climate of the place. The winds, you know what is a wind? The flowing air is called as wind. Okay, flowing air is called as wind. Wind coming from the hot areas increases the temperature, and the winds which are coming from the colder regions lowers the temperature of a place. Suppose the winds are blowing and are coming from the desert. So obviously those winds which are coming from the desert are hot winds, and when they are going or reaching the colder areas, they are also increasing the temperature of that particular place because they are coming from the hot regions. Understood? So those winds which are blowing from the hotter areas increases the temperature, and those winds which are blowing over the colder areas, they will lower the temperature of a place. So next important point is the direction of the wind. So if the wind direction is coming from the hotter places, then the place will be warmer, and if that place, the direction of the wind is coming from the colder areas, then that place is the cold place. Understood this thing? So the winds may also bring moisture. You know what is moisture? Moisture means you can say you can say when the sun shines, what happened? The water evaporated. This water which get evaporated, they make the air moist. Okay, so they also bring moisture. They are called as rain-bearing winds. What are those winds called? The winds which have moisture are called as rain-bearing winds. Okay. So the winds which are coming from Arabian Sea, Indian Ocean, Bay of Bengal bring rain to the entire country of India. So the winds in India bring rainfall in India. So all these winds which are coming to India, which are bringing rain in India, they are rain-bearing winds. What are these winds called as? These winds are called as rain-bearing winds. They are blowing over the oceans. Okay, these winds are blowing towards on the oceans of Arabian Sea, Indian Ocean and Bay of Bengal. So they are blowing over the ocean. Because they are blowing over the ocean, they are warm winds and they are carrying moisture. They take up the water from the sea, and these water get collected in form of clouds, and when they come to India, they bring rainfall. Okay, so how this is the mechanism of Indian rainfall. You will read about this mechanism of rainfall or monsoon season in the higher classes. Okay, so they bring rain in the entire country. India gets rain only by this moisture bearing winds. Okay, Mysooram in Meghalaya, there's a place in Meghalaya known as Mysooram, gets the heaviest rainfall in the world. Okay, this is a place in India which gets the maximum amount of rainfall. Okay, so earlier it was Cherrapunji in the same state in India with this record for several years. This place known as Mysooram has taken the first position, you can say, as compared to Cherrapunji. It was before, it was Cherrapunji, but now Mysooram, it has been observed that it gets more rainfall than Cherrapunji. So these winds which bring rainfall are rain-bearing winds, and they also decide the temperature and climate of a place. India has a monsoon type of climate. When you ask to your teacher what is the climate of India, the climate of India is known as the monsoon type of climate. Understood? This is called as a monsoon type of climate. Okay, now this is the thing. The next is humidity and ocean currents. The next important point is humidity and ocean current also affects the temperature and climate of a place. Okay. Okay. The next is humidity. Now please understand the concept. What is humidity? Humidity means the amount of moisture present in the atmosphere. Okay, if an air has more moisture, it will be more humid. If a particular air has less moisture, it has less humidity. Understood? So, what is the concept of humidity? Humidity means the amount of moisture present in the air. The amount of moisture present in the air is called as humidity. The winds blowing over the sea bring a lot of moisture and make the climate of the coastal areas very humid. Okay, while like in these months of April, May, etc., the coastal areas is very humid because a lot of moisture is being absorbed by the air during the summer season. Okay, a lot of moisture is being absorbed by the winds, by the you can say the clouds, etc., and because of the intense heating of the sun. So they took up the moisture, and now the winds or the air is full of moisture, and it is very humid. It is very humid. So this is called as humidity. The next important point is ocean currents. Now please children understand. What are ocean currents? Suppose the sea is there. Suppose the sea is there. The sea has water. The sea has water. Now what happened in the water? There is another stream of water. This is all water. This is all water. But in that water, there is another stream of water. Okay. And this water, which is another stream of water, is either hot or either cold from the surrounding water. Okay, it is either hot, I'll explain. Okay, either hot or cold than the surrounding water. This is a stream of water which is inside the water of the ocean only, but this stream of water is either hot or either cold, and this stream of water is flowing much more faster than the surrounding water. This stream of water is moving much faster than the surrounding water. So this is called as ocean current. Okay, in the senior classes, you will study detail about ocean current. They are flow of water below the surface of the ocean water. It is a stream of water. It is a flow of water which is inside the ocean water only, but they affect the climate of the place, as ocean current can be warm or cold. There are two types of ocean current. One is warm ocean current, another is cold ocean current. Okay, The Gulf of Stream, a name given, a Gulf of Stream from the Gulf of Mexico flows towards the Arctic Ocean. As a result, Murmansk becomes an ice-free port throughout the year. There is a port in Arctic, you can say it is very cold over there in that place. So that port should be frozen, but that port is not frozen. Why the port is not frozen? Because what is flowing inside the water? The warm ocean current is flowing. So what happened? This warm ocean currents increases the temperature of that ocean water and it is ice free. There is no ice on the port. Understood? So this is the effect of ocean current. Okay. Now the next thing. Now these are the important factors which we have already discussed. Then we come to the new topic, that is type of climate. You have studied about the various factors affect the climate of a place. But now today we will study about the type of climate all over the world. Understood what is a climate? Climate is a weather condition which remains for about 30 to 40 years. It is same. Then only we calculate the climate of a place. So it is same throughout the year for about 30 to 40 years. So we will study about the type of climate. There are various types of climate. The first type of climate is, the main type of climate are equatorial climate, monsoon climate, desert climate, continental climate, maritime climate, Mediterranean type of climate, and tundra type of climate. Children, please understand the concept in this class only, because the same chapter is there for your class 7th, for your class 6th, for your class 8th, and for 9th and 10th. The climate chapter is always there till 10th class. In 9th class, it's very much in detail. So I want to tell you the climate chapter should be clear in this class only. Okay, I repeat once again, there are various types of climate: equatorial, monsoon, desert, continental, maritime, Mediterranean, and tundra type of climate. So first we will take one by one each of the climate and study them in detail, where they have been found and what are its important terms. Okay. Now the type of climate. This type of, first we'll take about equatorial climate. First we'll take about equatorial climate. This type of climate is found in the regions which is located near the equator, as the name suggests. Can you understand from the equatorial? Yes, you can understand from the equatorial, that is those places which are situated near or on the equator have which type of climate? Equatorial type of climate. Okay, so it is hot, it is humid throughout the year. Now everybody will ask, ma'am, it is hot, we know that. Okay, because equator, the sun rays are directly on the equator. We have already studied about this. Then you will ask, ma'am, why it is humid? Why? Children, please use your brains. Why it is humid? Because the sun is so directly shining on the equator, so it is so hot. What will happen? Due to the hotness of the sun, what will happen? The water will evaporate. Okay, what is going on? The water is evaporating. Now, because the water is evaporating in a very high quantity, what will happen? On that day only, what happened? The clouds are forming, and the clouds cannot bear such amount of water. So it happens, the rainfall happen on that day only. So during the day, the sun shines, but when the sun goes down, at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock, it rains also every day in the equatorial regions. So it has hot and it has humid type of climate. Understood the concept? Very good, children. The Democratic Republic of Congo, Africa, has this type of climate. Evergreen forests are found there. Why the forests are called as evergreen? Because forests use only two important products, and those two important products are available in equatorial forest. The first is sunlight. The second is water. So both the things are available on the equator. So it remains green, it becomes lush throughout the year. That is why the forests are known as evergreen forest. Understood? The forests are known as evergreen forest. The main trees found here are ebony, mahogany, rosewood, and a variety of animals, birds, amphibians are found here. A large variety of animals, a large variety of amphibians, reptiles, because forest is there, water is there, so large variety of animals and birds are found in these dense forests. Understood? Now, the next important thing is monsoon and desert climate. First, we will study about monsoon forest. We will study about India. Okay? Now, monsoon or tropical climate. This type of climate, summers are wet and winters are dry. Okay, in India we have summers are wet because nowadays the summers are going on, and when the summers will end, what will happen? The rainfall will be there, but winters are dry. We don't get any rainfall during the winters. India has this type of climate. So anybody ask you which type of climate did India has? So everybody should have an answer that man has taught us that India has monsoon type of climate. Understood? So a wide variety of animals and plants are found in this forest, and this region is often known for the home of domestic animals like goats, sheep, cows, donkeys are rare in large number. So these type of animals are found in these type of regions. Okay. Okay. The next important type of climate is desert type, like in Africa, etc., where there are desert. In India also we have desert, but we don't have all over India. India have a monsoon type of climate. Okay. Now we will study about desert type of climate. Now this type of climate is found when in hot desert region. Wherever there is desert, this type of climate is being found. During the summers, the days are hot and nights are cool. Okay, the summers are, or you can say in the summers, the days are very hot because of the heat of the sun. But when the sun goes down, the sand is there that loses the heat very fast. So it became cold during the night. During the winters, the days are warm and nights are cold. The nights are cold. The main feature of this desert climate is that the daily range of temperature is very, or you can say it varies, means daily temperature changes. Okay, the daily temperature changes, and there is a variation during the day temperature and during the night temperature. Okay. So sandstorms are very common because the heat of the sun is there. There is a change in the heating. So the heat storms, or you can say sandstorms, are very common. The very few species of animals can survive because it is very harsh climate. There is no water. There is no water for the plants to live. There is no water for the animals to live. So there is desert over there. What type of animals survive over there? Reptiles, scorpions, foxes, kangaroos, wallabies, camels, etc. are found in the climatic region, in this dry climatic region. Cactus are found in this dry climatic region. Understood? Why? Because they need less water, and their leaves have been converted into spines. That is why this type of harsh climate, very few plants and very few animals can survive. Okay. The next is continental climate. Okay. What is continental climate? The continental type of climate is found in the interior of the continents away from the sea. Okay, it has a high, or has extreme climate because there is no influence of the sea. Here summers are extremely hot. Okay, here summers are extremely hot and winters are very cold. Like you can say, like Delhi. Delhi has this type of climate. When you have visited Delhi, you have seen that in Delhi there are extreme cold winters and extreme hot summers. Okay, why there is because there is no influence of the sea, because in Delhi there is no sea, so it has extreme type of climate and it is located in the heart of the continent. It is located in the heart of the country. That is why there is no influence of the sea. The next is moderate or maritime climate. What is moderate climate? Not so hot and not so cold. What is maritime climate? Which is not so hot and not so cold. Maritime climate is a type of a climate which is neither very cold nor very hot. Okay, and those places which are located near the coast have this type of climate. Okay, those places which are located near the coast or the sea, they have moderate type of climate. I've explained you yesterday about the sea breeze and the land breeze. So the places which are situated near the sea have experienced this moderate type of climate, because the sea lowers the temperature and increases the temperature. So those places are not so hot, not so cold. Maritime climate is a climate which is neither very cold nor very hot. Places located near the sea coast have this type of climate. Mumbai is such type of climate. Why Mumbai has such type of climate? Because it is located near the sea. And Delhi has which type of climate? Everybody knows now. Delhi has continental type of climate because it is situated far from the sea. Understood the difference? Okay. The next is Mediterranean climate. The next is Mediterranean climate. In the Mediterranean type of climate, the winters are wet due to rains and cool. What happens? Now the winters are wet. When they get the rainfall, they get the rainfall during the winter season. Okay, the summers are hot and dry. What happened? The summers are hot and dry. Now, this type of climate is found in the Mediterranean Sea, near the Mediterranean, above Africa, there is Mediterranean Sea, etc. So, this type of climate is found in those areas. Okay. Next, we come to Tundra climate. Tundra climate is cold climate. What is Tundra type of climate? Tundra type of climate is called as cold climate. The Tundra region is extremely cold as they are nearest to the poles. Okay, this Tundra type of climate is near to the poles. Most of the regions remains ice and snow throughout the year. In the Tundra type of climate, it is totally covered with ice. It has very cold temperature, very low temperature is there. Vegetation is hardly seen in these regions. Why the vegetation cannot grow, or plants and trees cannot grow? Because it is very cold. And few animals like polar bear, reindeer, seal, husmands are found here. Why animals and plants are less? Because it is very harsh temperature. It is very cold temperature. In the desert region, very less amount of vegetation is found because it is very hot. But in the colder climate, the situation is same. Though there is very less amount of animals and plants are found because of the harsh temperature. Okay. Now, the next is the climatic zones of the earth. Now, we will study about the climatic zones of the earth. Okay. Now, the entire earth is divided into 3 climatic zones. When we see this, can you see this diagram? The entire earth is divided into 3 climatic heat zones, depending upon the temperature and rainfall received in the areas within those zones. So we divide the zones into torrid zone, temperate zone and frigid zone. Okay, please remember this. This is also there for your next class also. The next is the torrid zone. The torrid zone, can you see the diagram over there? The sun rays is there. The sun rays are falling directly on 0°. Okay, and it goes to 23.5 degree north to 23.5 degrees south. Can you see that? Okay, so the zone between 0 to 23.5 degree north and 23.5 degree south, the sun rays are direct. That zone is very hot. That zone is called as torrid zone. What zone it is called as? It is called as torrid zone. Understood there? Then when we go up from 23.5 degree north to 66.5 degree north, and when we go from 23.5 degrees south to 66.5 degrees south, the zone or the rays are slanting. That zone is called as temperate zone. That zone is called as temperate zone. Okay, when we go from 66.5 degree north to North Pole and 66.5 degrees south to South Pole, the sun rays are very less. The sun rays are slanting. They are very less. So those areas experience very cold temperature. So it is called as frigid zone. It is freezing over there. It is called as frigid zone. Okay. Okay. I'll read out the important things about torrid zone, temperate zone, then the frigid zone. Okay. Now the torrid zone. This type of climate extends between the Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. Okay, I'll read out what is torrid zone. Please pay attention. Please see to the diagram. The climate of the zone extends between the Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. Can you see this? 23.5 degree north to 23.5 degrees south. 23.5 degree north is called as Tropic of Cancer. 23.5 degrees south is called as Tropic of Capricorn. Okay, this zone is spread and near the equator, and the sun rays falls directly and making the area extremely hot and humid. That making the area very hot. Can you please see there? Okay, the area, the sun rays are falling over there and making that particular area very hot. Okay, that is called as torrid zone. Next, I'll read about temperate zone. The heat or the climatic zone lies between the Arctic Circle and the Tropic of Cancer and to the northern hemisphere, and Antarctic circles and Tropic of Capricorn in the southern hemisphere. So when we move from 23.5 degree north to 66.5 degree north is called as temperate zone. And when we move from 23.5 degrees south to 66.5 degrees south is called as temperate zone. Okay, it experience a moderate temperature. What is a moderate temperature? Moderate temperature means not so hot and not so cold. Okay. Then come the frigid zone. Can you see there frigid zone there? Now in this frigid zone, what is there? And this is the zone of the northern hemisphere and between the Arctic Circle in the north. 66.5 degree north to North Pole is called as Arctic Circle. And in the southern hemisphere, it is from the Antarctic Circle, that is 66.5 degrees south to the South Pole, which is called as frigid zone. Okay, what happened? The slant rays of the sun are there. The sun rays are very slanting. Okay, and loses its strength. There is no amount of heat over there left because it is so slanting and it is freezing there, and making the region cool throughout the year, and this making the region very cold over there. So the entire zone is called as the frigid zone. Okay children, so this is called as the frigid zone. So children, this is the chapter all about. And today I will tell you important things about this. This chapter contains about weather and climate. A very important basic chapter for your future classes. So children, please understand it, learn it, the difference between weather and climate, the different types of climate found and different types of climate. After that, different heat zones of India. There are various heat zones found in India. So all these things tell about the weather and climate of a place. Children, understanding, and one thing important I will want to tell you, that please remember to give your attendance. Without your writing about the attendance, please write it in the correct format. Your name, class, and your section is very important, children. Okay, write down your full name. Okay, for this only we can recognize you, and we can make you mark with your attendance part. Okay, children. So this is the chapter all about what is weather, what is climate, and please read those chapters, understand it, and please remember also. Not only understanding is important, but remembrance is also important for your future classes. Okay children, bye for now, take care, and please stay safe.